Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Broman. We're working on the reaction video right now for this because I know that's something y'all want. So we have to kind of bring together a couple video files. But for now, for today, I wanted to go through this trailer with you, point out some of my highlights, and I wanted to see what some of yours were. So we're actually going to start right here. Right at the beginning of this, they show off the Forsaken. You understand, or not the Forsaken, these are the Barons, the new fallen that have been living in the reef. Maybe they escaped from prisons, we don't know, but you can see the character design that you see throughout this for enemies and Guardians alike is actually some of the coolest shit I've seen. I really liked that. That was one of my favorite moments in the reveal was all of that. We're gonna just kind of make sure we mute this so we can go through it and see stuff because I don't have everything timestamped. I love how excited everyone is in this Vidoc, by the way. You can tell how long they've been working. They're like, yeah, we can't wait. So the first thing they showed off is Cade and Cade's prison in the reef, where he's trapped obviously a bunch of really awful people and bad guys. We don't really get any more contextual clues as to the value of this, if there's going to be activities here. We just know that this is kind of where the story starts, and I'm actually really excited to see that. This right here, these interactions, oh my god, this. So the Forsaken, if you didn't catch it during the original story, there's one encounter with a member that is considered Forsaken, and it's during a quest on Titan. You have the option to kill the Fallen or kill the Hive guy at the end, and if you save the Fallen guy, you find out, oh, this is so-and-so the Forsaken. So that moment has some loose association with this. This is, my guess, maybe a new Fallen ally for us, but I have no idea. This is my favorite part about not having gone to the Bungie community day, feedback day, because I have actually no idea what's going on with any of this shit. So we have this guy, he's a badass, and then we have the reef. This entire area of the reef, this lashed together, really high science area, where you're going to have to, there's platforming involved in a really obvious way. You're going to be, dealing with a different sort of movement than you would be dealing with, in any other patrol areas. And I think that that's really awesome. And then we have the design of these guys. All of the new enemies, even if they're reimagined Fallen, even if they're just air quotes reimagined Fallen, these enemy designs, this architecture that you're seeing, the structure, you have these guys that look like golems that are casting lightning. You have these big, weird, sort of voodoo priest looking captains. You have the tiny dregs. Everyone's got different loadouts, different equipment, different expectations. And I'm really excited to kind of see how they're going to fight. We learned a little bit more about how they will be fighting, at least about their AI. We've learned that they're going to be way more aggressive and they're constantly going to push you, which is fantastic because standard strategy for most Destiny encounters is find a place where you can hide. And if these are constantly assaulting you, that's going to be a difficult problem to solve. So now we have just even more reveal of really interesting reimagined stuff. So instead of traditional melee stuff, everybody has fucking mace lanterns that they swing around and try and crush your head with. I can't get over the weapon and enemy design. It's really, really exciting. It reminds me a lot of the Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings, which sort of matches with this whole City of Dreams or Dreamscape or Dreaming City that they show off later in the game or later in the reveal here. I'm in love with the idea of these Fallen Barons that we have to fight. There's going to be, I think they mentioned 8 of them. I'm really excited to encounter all of them because it could be really unique. It could be things you have to unlock. The fact that there's 8 of them and the fact that we have 5 bosses in EP makes me feel like maybe there's synergy in how this activity works between the 2 of them. It'd be dope to find them on patrol. I don't really know how that's going to work out, but I know that it'll probably be I'm looking forward to those encounters. I mean, we have here, this looks like some sort of disgustingly modified bow. Everything's just great. I just can't wait to encounter all this, have different fights, different encounters. This guy, I want to fight this guy so bad with this fucking giant flaming mace, dude. I can't wait. So we have all this awesome stuff. We see the new Titan gear. We see the new Warlock gear. We see the new everything. And so now we get to the other really exciting part. Here we can see the change of the weapon system that they introduced. So here we see a new exotic. Twin Rabbit shoots 2 tracking rockets, 1 void, 1 solar, which is just right. We see power level 600, and we see base level 50. They mentioned that everything here is a placeholder. These are the kind of jumps that I would expect if they were going to truly revolutionize everything that they were doing. This is what they did with the Taken King. They made everything so much more powerful that everything that came before was kind of useless. So you were forced into having value with that. So I'm really excited about that. See some more stuff that just looks like everything looks awesome. Like this, they mentioned that their inspiration for a lot of this is Wild West theme, and you get that grittiness and everything. The other thing of note is that everything has an ammo capacity thing next to it. So if you want to run, triple shotties, you can run triple shotties. They show off a kinetic, an energy, and an Acreus here. So this was a change I was not expecting. The changes to weapon slots were I wasn't seeing it at all. So when you talk about a change to the weapon system, I was expecting a change to the weapon system where it was back to Destiny 1, which they definitely say you can play as now. But now you have weapon slots. You have 2 slots you can equip, or 3 slots, I would assume, where you can put anything that you want in them. That could be wrong. I would imagine they'd still want to keep the power weapon system. But very obviously in this trailer, you see shotguns, you see snipers, and you see them in the secondary slot that you would be used to seeing them in Destiny 1. That's incredibly exciting. I'm really fucking stoked for it. They talk about reworking Masterworks to sort of give more depth to gear. And one of the other things that I just want to point out before we get out of the gear section is random rolls are coming back. I am so excited. And then we'll get back to these reimagined supers here in a second. This is super obviously a new Titan Slam, and I can't wait. Like, you look like a Superman motherfucker, and I'm over the moon about this. So the new weapon system is exciting. I can't wait to learn more about it. But the fact that you're finally going to be able to, run a secondary shotgun or whatever, secondary sniper, No Land Beyond, like whatever they bring back, I'm all for it. It's going to give more variety in PvE, and it's going to give an insane variety to PvP as well, hopefully. So then they go and they talk about all of the changes that they have to supers. So we saw the different Titan Smash there. We see the solar blades here. We see the Titan with a giant hammer instead of a small hammer. You just fucking mess everybody up. We have just flame tornadoes. You've got I think coming up next they show off the I want to see the super anime. There we go. All right, so here you see the pole dancer, using the pole as a shield. And then you have mega anime guy zipping around, zoop, 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 mega anime explosion. From this, I think we can gather that we're going to have all of the we're going to have reworked versions of every single super in the game, or another super style available. That's going to be, more powerful and more exciting, really giving you the hero moments, including, this is what I was waiting for. This is the only thing in the fucking universe that would make me want to play a Warlock, and that's that you can literally become Goku. You can Kamehameha all over everyone's face, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. So you have you have your Kamehameha wave, you have everything that you need, and then Bungie does not put the punches. That's a bow. So bows are a new weapon type that are being introduced into the game. That looks absolutely incredible. They talk about having, all sorts of different ranges attached to them. They're effective in PvP. They're effective in PvE. Obviously, they kind of show both of those things. They show some skilled based stuff where it's going to be, you don't necessarily have to land a hit. At least that's what that looked like to me. Bows just look like an incredibly high tech and awesome experience. And then we have the new game mode, Gambit. Gambit is a combination PvP PvE mode where you are going to be placed in a match with another set of guardians, and you are going to be fighting waves of enemies, gathering things and spawning bosses, it looks like, on your other enemy's side. I wasn't really sure about like the goal or I wasn't really sure about the win condition for this. But like the fact that you get to show off and that you get to run a competitive PvE mode most of the time, and then you have somebody who is you can designate as a diver to go from one side, okay, to the other side, which is what this guy's going to do right now. Open up the portal, go through, and now you're on the other team's side. You know, you can invade and then wipe the other team, which is incredible. I am looking forward to playing this game mode more than anything else that I have seen from Bungie in a long time. New raids are obviously really exciting, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. The new raids are obviously exciting, but this new game mode has me amped. And I know you're like, but Broman, you're so quiet right now. I just woke up and my wife's sleeping. You leave me alone. Another quick thing I want to mention about that game mode, and it was mentioned during the reveal, is if you want to play Gambit, it is playable first at E3. Second, if you want to come to GuardianCon, you can come to GuardianCon and you can play you can play Gambit there. So you can go to guardiancon.co/tickets. Full disclosure, I am the charity director and one of the 3 founders of the event. We've worked really, really hard on getting that together for you all. Super happy to have Bungie join us as the 3rd developer to fully partner with our event in this capacity after Phoenix Labs, the makers of Dauntless, and of course our first partner, which was Digital Extremes, the makers of Warframe. So I'm really, really excited about what this is going to be bringing to the table. And then, of course, we get to see, and we got to see so much more of this than I was expecting, the raid area. So they have a new part of the game, and I want to try and find it where they show it off. Oh my God. I'll see if they have any like screenshots. Yeah. Okay. This might have been more in this. Okay, here we go. So this is so they have a new area called the Dreaming City. It's kind of uncertain. This is part of the Dreaming City. What it's going to be like. The Dreaming City is the location of the raid. They mentioned that it's like Vault of Glass and the Dreadnought combined. My assumption from that is that the entire encounter will be the raid, or the entire space might be the raid or endgame endgame content PvE area. And the fact that it's the size of the Dreadnought makes me think that we might be getting a wing-based raid in the future, kind of like, you know, World of Warcraft, which is not bad. Obviously, we see Taken influence in the raid. We see a lot of Fallen, or not Fallen. We see a lot of Dreaming City. We see a lot of Awoken impressions on the raid as well. Everything just looks gorgeous. The size, the scope, the colors. They also mention a whole bunch of different things. They mentioned that the key thing, one of the coolest things, and then here you have more new enemy types. These look like Spartans. You have this area that as you complete components in the raid, they mention the whole world will change around you. So I am just so unbelievably excited to experience what this can be, what this is. As far as endgame, like there is nothing. I have nothing but excitement. Also, quick note: a lot of people think this is the Thorn. I don't know the Thorn. I don't know. I don't know if that's the Thorn. It could be. I don't know. I think that it looks different than the Thorn, so it might be like the Thorn's bud. But like the fact that we're seeing so much, and then like I was already stoked, and then it's just like haymakers. The fact that we're going to have collections. So one of the things that any MMO addict is a huge, like, I always loved collecting. So now you have a location, a collection screen that's got vehicles, vanities, weapons, armor, ghosts. And when they showed on the reveal stream, they also showed lore as a discoverable tab in here. So you can keep track of everything that you've collected, and it will tell you how you're going to find all that stuff, which I just cannot express the level of value that has to the player. One of the biggest questions I could ask streaming is, Broman, how do I get this item, this weapon? And now being able to say, go into your collections, it'll tell you, like, that's huge. Like, I understand, like, for me, like, it simplifies interaction, but for the player at home who doesn't go to the forums, who doesn't go to Reddit, who doesn't do any of that stuff, they now have access in game to everything that they want, which is just like such a big fucking deal to me. It's a quality of life improvement like none other. And then we have, this Triumph system that they're going to be bringing back as well. Final show offs of like all the gear, everything just kicking ass. Like I am so unbelievably excited about everything that I've seen here. I am looking forward to Forsaken in a big way. For those of you that have been following me for a while, I had all but written off Destiny 2 as irrecoverable, especially after Curse of Osiris. The Warmind changed my mind primarily because they addressed a problem I didn't think we'd see addressed until Forsaken, and that was power progression. They slowed it down. And so now we are getting this full-throated reimagining of how the game works. They talk consistently about, returning to the hobby of the game, which I am just overwhelmingly excited about because that's what people came back to for Destiny 1. It was a hobby. You would go in every week and you'd do things. You'd check the boxes. It felt fun to accomplish things, and they're bringing that back in a really big way. That's a lot of what I heard. Also, we have really awesome stuff. Revelry Dawn. While in the Dreaming City, you deal more damage to all targets, and you can take more damage from all sources. So this is like gear that directly affects your encounter. Like that's nuts. You can put something on your body that makes you a glass cannon. Gambit's awesome. This some kind of void dancing shit. I do not know everything that's in here. We're obviously going to find out more. Also, side note, it's coming out September 4th, which is the best birthday present ever. Thank you, Bungie. My birthday is September 5th, so we're going to have a hell of a party on September 5th. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for sitting and listening to this. I hope you appreciated my thoughts on the Forsaken. We're working on that reaction video right now. These are just the standout things for me, stuff that I wanted to spend 2 minutes on saying what I'm excited about. Please let me know in the comments what you're excited about, because I would absolutely love to, compile all that and try and work with some of my buds in the community, maybe work with Bife and create some lore content to sort of explain in a more deep sense all of the different things that are going on coming into the Forsaken DLC, because I love collabing, especially with my boy Bife. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate you. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.